Hey guys, I am back from vacation and I'm bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, and today I'm going to talk about our brand new beading kits that we just put online recently. These are going to be great for a beginner, somebody who's just learning how to bead, doesn't have all the tools, but wants to get started. It's sort of an all-in-one kit that's going to allow you to get the tools, the crimps, the clasps, beads, everything you need, including a project. And we're going to break it open today, look inside, maybe make something with both a starter craft wire kit and a starter bead stringing kit. So we're going to look at both of those, and then we're going to take one other look at our TierraCast Western Winds kit. I still have about 50% of these available, so if you didn't get one, they're still there, and I wanted to talk a little bit more about that today too, and maybe we'll make something else with that as well. So I'm going to go ahead and just hop in and start unwrapping stuff, and we'll get going. Hi, everybody. Nice to see you. With Christmas coming up, I think these kits are really great if you're looking to entice someone to start beading. I think this is going to be a really good start for you. So James, my coworker, and I sat down and we looked at our beginner kits a couple of weeks ago, and we decided that we needed to make some changes to make them better. So first and foremost, it comes in this beautiful gold organza bag. And when you buy one, you're going to open it up and slide everything out. And this is exactly what one will look like if you choose the tanzanite colored wire, and I think it's the silver findings. So you actually get to choose silver, gold, or copper findings for your kit, and then you get to choose from an array of beading wire colors. We choose the beads. You'll get a bag of beads that's complementary to the color of wire that you've chosen. So they'll be different in every single kit, and most of them will be about 3 different styles of beads. And we did this for those of you that are out there that are brand new to beading. We wanted to make sure that you could get everything you need in this beginner kit to get started. So it even comes with a project card that tells you the basic crimping instructions for using our basic crimper. And then it has basic instructions for making a simple bracelet using your beads, the wire, and crimps and a clasp. So let's go ahead and just kind of open stuff up and look at it a little bit here. So the card comes in the bag. You're going to get your regular crimping pliers in this kit, and then a pair of basic bead nippers, which is all you really need when you're getting started. If you are going to do a lot of cutting, then I suggest a higher end cutter. But when you're just getting started and you're not sure how much beadwork you're going to do, this is totally fine for getting started. So I chose the tanzanite color today in beading wire. I think we have 10 different colors available. And you'll see there's a color chart, and you choose your color and then you choose your findings metal type as well. So you can choose the copper, the gold, or the silver. It's going to come with 2 lobster clasps, some ear wires, and then some crimps. And it'll look the same in gold or copper. It's just going to be in a different metal tone, which is awesome because I think, you know, like the more options, the better. It was a little difficult for us to program it with so many options, but you know, we persevered because I knew the options were going to be really important for those of you out there that have never beaded before. Okay, so these are bead stoppers, which are very handy when you start beading because they clip on the end of the wire while you're sorting your beads onto it, and then it unclips really easily before you crimp. So those come in the kit. And then a standard bead mat. It won't always be the same color bead mat. This one happens to be a nice tan color, but we also have them in blue or gray, and that's not really going to be an option. It'll just, one will be packed into your kit. So that's everything in the starter bead stringing kit on the Soflex Company website, www.soflexcompany.com. I'm just going to do a real simple bracelet. Again, this is totally geared towards those of you who don't bead yet or have just started beading. So I'm going to keep it as simple as possible because I don't want to intimidate anyone, because you got to start out small, but once you get going, you'll be able to do all sorts of really cool, fun things. So I'm opening up my packages. I took out my crimping pliers first. We do have an upgrade version of the bead stringing kit coming. It will have the magical crimpers rather than the regular crimpers. And it'll be a little more expensive because they're more expensive, but it will be pretty similar otherwise. For those of you that are ready to upgrade your tools, it'll have a nicer cutter in it, but that'll be coming up in the weeks ahead. Okay, so let me get something to put my beads in real fast, and then we'll just make a quick, easy bracelet. So nice to see all of you. I missed you while I was on vacation, and I'm looking forward. I haven't seen anybody post any pictures of designs with the TierraCast Western Winds kit yet, and because they just went out recently, but I'm so looking forward to seeing what you guys make with that kit. Okay, so like I said, there will be a mixture of complementary colors added into beads added into your kit. And I'm just going to unspool my wire. I'm just going to do a simple bracelet. So I'm going to just measure on my wrist an appropriate length, trim the wire, and we will go ahead and start stringing. So you take your bead stopper, and it just clips right onto the wire and holds it. And you can buy these bead stopper, you can buy all these products separately. So if you see something you like here, you can buy it individually. This kit is more for someone that's looking to just sort of get it all at once and kind of get it over with. But you could definitely do, you know, your own thing. So I'm just going to string on, and I'm just going to go random. For the purpose of this video, we'll just do kind of a random assortment. All these beads are really lovely on the tanzanite. To make a bracelet length. Happy Thursday to you, Kim. Is everybody getting their live sale packages this week? We have another live sale coming up next week, and I was just peeking at what Mike chose for it, and you guys are going to be totally blown away. It's so exciting. It's really cool stuff. He's got some Lily Pilly stuff. He had these awesome gemstone spears in like a huge assortment of colors. So there's just going to be some really cool stuff. I can't wait to show it to you. Oh, good. You got yours today. That's always fun. I love getting a new package of something that I've been excited to see. Makes the whole day exciting. So I'm just going to do a quick measure around my wrist. I need a few more beads to get this together. If you're a beginner beader, you can definitely be far more asymmetrical like I was on the card project. Here's my card project where I actually, you know, in order placed all the beads. But you can also be asymmetrical. You can also be random, and sometimes designs turn out really awesome just letting it be what it is. Okay, so that's probably enough to fit my wrist. Ooh, and I think I have that design. I should show that here while I'm thinking about it. Here's the design that I made for the project card in person. So really simple, really easy. Jewelry doesn't have to be hard, especially when you're starting out. You don't want to get too complicated at the get-go. Just gonna grab my crimps out too. You can keep it pretty simple. And then as you grow in your expertise, you can upgrade your tools and you can do more and more. Okay, so I've got my end of my wire. I'm gonna string my crimp tube on. I'm gonna go ahead and pop out one of my lobster clasps. You can find this kit under, if you go to shop at softluxcompany.com, under kits, and then I think it's all kits is what you need to click, and you'll see the starter bead stringing kit. And I'm sure one of my coworkers will probably post a link. Okay, so for those that have never done this before, we've got our crimp tube. We go through the loop on the lobster clasp and back into the crimp tube. And then we're just gonna gently pull that crimp close to the lobster clasp, but we wanna leave enough room. I'm just gonna move my phone up a little bit. So there you are. I'm having a volume thing stick up. Okay, all fixed. Okay, so close to the clasp, but you don't want it so tight that this can't move around. You wanna make sure that it can move around. Oh yeah, Kristen's reminding me, you can also find the kits right on the home page in the new products section. Okay, so we're gonna use these crimping pliers here. So they've got 2 holes. I'm trying to find where you can see it the best. The hole on the right, for me, closest in on the pliers, has a little tooth. I call that the crimper. And then the hole over here is completely round. It's gonna round everything in. So we're gonna use that tooth first. Get in where you can see well enough. And you're just going to compress. And it makes sort of a little divot in your crimp tube. And then you're gonna turn into the rounder and you're gonna compress again. And then just like with any pair of crimping pliers, it's good to just go around and around it, rounding it all in, tightening it down, cinching it into your nylon coating. Okay, so once you're set with that, then go ahead and get your cutters. You're gonna take the flat side of your cutter, slide it in, and trim that extra wire right up to the crimp tube. And then all I have to do to finish my bracelet is go ahead and complete the other side. I'm gonna do that by taking off my lovely bead stopper. You just squish with the little handles and it'll pop off. And then we're gonna take another 2x2 millimeter crimp tube, which again will come right in this starter kit, and feed the wire back into the tube rather than using an open jump ring. You could use a closed jump ring, I guess, but rather than having something that opens up, I like to just make a little connector here that my lobster clasp can connect to. Let's see if you can see that. So I'm just gonna make sure of a couple things. This is really pretty stiff right now because I pulled it a little too tight to the beads. So I'm gonna loosen away from the beads a little bit and make sure that this curls really nicely into a circle. You can even attach your clasp just to see if like that is gonna make the right shape. If you pull it too tight, it'll get really stiff and then it's hard to like really wrap it around your wrist in a circle. So don't get it too tight. And I'm also gonna look, can I make, these 2 loops similar in size? I think I can. and still be able to clasp it, you know, with this particular lobster clasp. I'm going to go ahead and straighten my wires out as best I can so they're side by side in the crimp tube. And then I'm going to do the same thing I did before. I'm going to slide it into the crimper first. And then I'm going to turn it on its side in the rounder and round it in. And then I like to go around it multiple times, just sort of tightening it down. Shipwreck Beads always says, give it a kiss and then a hug. Yeah, so the first one looks like lips. That's a cute little saying. They're so cute. Okay, so I'm going to trim again using the flat side of my cutter next to that. And then you've got your first basic bracelet. So everything I needed to make a bracelet like this comes in the beginner kit, and you get to choose your color of wire, your color of metal, but it's really cool. There's lots of good options, and it's great for a beginner. I wouldn't probably suggest this for someone who already has their tool supplies all together, but for someone that's been watching these videos, is sort of excited about beading but not quite sure where to begin, I think the starter toolkit is definitely the way to go. So I'm going to move this off because we're going to next look at the starter craft wire kit, which is going to be great if you're going to start following James Browning's new YouTube series, Conversations in Wire. He is going to be doing a new video about every 2 weeks on YouTube on the Softflex Company station. And I think that you all would really enjoy watching it. And if you're brand new to, yay, James Browning, if you're brand new to craft wire, this might be a really good way for you to get started as well. We did a starter craft wire kit. And this is totally James approved. He helped me put it all together. So again, it has a project card with just a really basic project in it and some tutorial information. Yeah, that's true, Rosanna. If you went around and around a cheap crimp, it would break. But if you've got a good quality crimp like the Softflex crimps, then you're gonna be actually cinching it down further for sure. Yep, new video coming next week. What's your new video next week, James? Do you have an idea already planned out for next week? I'm gonna start taking, so this kit will come in a beautiful gold organza bag as well. And it comes with major tools, you guys. It comes with 4 tools. Again, a bead mat. This one's kind of a light blue, but that will change from kit to kit. Ooh, you're gonna make tiny bird's nests. That sounds fun. Okay, so it comes with that. And then again, you get to choose your metal type. So there's copper, gold, or silver. And so your findings will change depending on your metal type. This comes with 3 lobster clasps. And then you're gonna get an assortment of beads, 3 different styles of beads that are all, you know, sort of similar. And then of course, your first spool of 22 gauge Softflex craft wire. This is in our non-tarnish copper color. So let's do a quick project. I don't know that I'll get through a whole bracelet with this, but I'll at least show you how to make a basic wire wrapped loop, just like this. And this is the project on the project card. It's just basic wire wrapping to make connectors and then attach it to make basically like a beaded chain. And then you just attach to your clasp over here. Okay, so we've got our craft wire. This is 22 gauge. You will have your choice of color of craft wire in the kits. as well as metal type for your findings. I'm going to take my nylon jaw pliers that run over the top. Did I even go over the tools in the kit? There are round nose, there are nylon jaw pliers, there are cutters, and then there's a bent nose, so like a bent chain nose. So let me pop those out. I'm using my nylon jaw pliers because I don't want to ruin, or not ruin, but use a brand new pair and then have to sample those out too. So I'm using my old pair here that I've had forever. And basically the nylon jaw pliers are just going to smooth the wire and get it ready for you to work with it. And we'll steal one of these clasps and some beads. So we're just going to do an assortment of beads again to keep this really simple. But basically the way that I make a, and hopefully I follow the same instructions that are here. The way that I make a wire wrapped loop is I take the end of the wire, I find whatever loop size I want to make on my round nose pliers. If you make one toward the tip, it's going to be smaller, whereas if you go down further, it's going to be larger. I bend the wire so it's facing toward me in a 90-degree angle. Then I use my thumb to pull it over the top, which basically makes kind of a half loop. I turn my pliers so that it's holding the side of the half loop, and then I complete the loop by pulling it under the pliers. So you've got a really nice little loop there using the round nose pliers from the starter craft wire kit. I like to hold on to the loop and then I use my fingers. Again, you can get another pair of chain nose pliers or bent nose pliers to wrap that wire around the base. I use my fingers. That's what I'm comfortable with, but there are tools that you can use as well if your fingers get tired. And then you're just going to slide in real close with the flat side of your cutter and trim. And if you see anything sort of hanging out there, you can always just tuck it in and straighten it out. And then you've got a really basic little wire wrap loop. I'm going to leave probably like 3 inches. It's probably overkill, but just to be sure. And we'll take one of these big beads on this one. String it onto your little looped wire, and then you're going to do the same thing on the other side. So you're going to want to go in about the same place on your plier, so you're making the same sized loop, and you're going to bend. And see how I left a little bit of space between the bead and the start of the loop? That's where I'm going to do my wrapping on the other side. I'm going to wrap around, slide my tool in the side of the loop, finish my circle. Let's see, this bent nose does not have teeth. It's flat. No teeth. Yeah, teeth would probably mar the wire. Okay, so I'm going to hold on to my loop and then I'm just going to wrap. And you can do a much messier wrap than this too. I'm doing a really clean, very straight wrap, but some people like to wrap back up and make it just look a little more organic. Maybe we can do that on the next one just to see what it kind of looks like. So you want to slide in as close as you can get, snip it, and then always just make sure if there's a little tail, you tuck it in so that doesn't get caught on what someone's wearing. So there we go. We have our first little connector. Now you could even do something as simple as a little connector and do chain and then a clasp. You could keep it really simple. Or you can keep going and connect another one, which is what we're gonna do. So one of my favorite tips that James gave during his video is that these spools, if you leave them to their own devices, they will spin out. The wire will kind of come off. So you always kind of want to keep a grip on it when you're working with it. And then if you can slide your little protector back on, that'll keep it from doing that. And if you didn't see James's video last week, you can find it on YouTube. He goes through some really great beginner wire wrapping tips and shows you how to wrap a piece of sea glass, which was really awesome. Okay, so I've got my next piece of wire. I'm going to go ahead and start at about the same place on my pliers again, because I'm making just a uniform bracelet. So I've got my first little loop, and now since I have one already made, I'm going to slide this one in and attach it before I wrap around the outside. So now I'm able to start creating a chain. And I'm going to leave about the same length again. And this time I'm going to do one of these pretty amber beads that came with this kit. There will be 3 styles of beads in the kit in complementary colors. So now I can add my little amber bead on. We do ship to the UK, definitely. Your shipping rates should show up on our website. And if you have any problems, just email info@softflexcompany.com and they will help you out. I do my wrap. You're exactly the people we're looking for. The people that watch this video that have been intimidated because they don't have the tools, but are more than capable. You know, we want you to be able to get started really easily. So that's what these starter kits are for, to make it easy as pie for everybody to bead with us. So there we've got our second one. And you just kind of continue that same way. You're making these little connections and attaching them until you've got a full bracelet or necklace, you know, depending on what you've decided you're going to do. So the instructions for this come in the craft wire kit. It has instructions for making the wire wrap loop, and then it has instructions for making a basic wire wrapped bracelet. So I think that's super handy, and I think that anybody out there that's been wanting to maybe try craft wire, this is everything you need to get started, even the beads. Even the clasps, it's got it all. So this is a great way to go to get started with craft wire. And if you're going to be following James's videos, this is a great set to be able to follow along with him in what he's doing, because he plans to use these same tools in a lot of his upcoming videos. So last but not least, I'm going to open this TierraCast kit again, and we're going to take another look. This is what it'll look like when it comes to you. Be packaged in a little package, and I actually purchased what I made at the live show last week for Kristen for her birthday, and because I was going to Arizona where she lives, and then I forgot it here, and I still have yet to find it. So I've got to figure out where I put it, but I thought she would love that big painted feather. Is so Kristen. So hopefully I can find it before I see her here again in a week or so. But you can see pictures of what I made by going to our VIB group and check it out there. So in this kit for $34.99, you're going to get a 10-foot spool of turquoise colored soft flex. There are 4 ear wires, some really great crimp tubes, soft flex crimp tubes. I know, Kristen, I gotta find it. A big bag of beads, come in this kit. And then we've got this brand new product from TierraCast that just launched this month. And it comes in multiple different metal types. We chose the silver pewter color. But in the kit, you're going to get a big, really lovely feather, and then 2 smaller feathers that are lovely too. You're going to get 6 of these great metal beads and 2 of these little Thunderbird charms. And then a great little button clasp. I love, this is actually also a TierraCast button on my bracelet today. I love using their buttons to make a really simple clasp by just crimping a big loop. So it's like a toggle, basically. You could totally do that with, so this is the end where I crimped, and then it just slides over the top of it really easily. You could totally do that with this really cool TierraCast button that came in the kit. Maybe we'll even do one of those because that's a great beginner project with the beads that we have here. Okay, so we've got some really great, tons of beads. Oh, I still have beads in that. Let me look. Maybe this will work. Pour some beads out here. I really loved these big Swarovski crystals that were mixed in, so I'll probably use those again. And then I really liked these amber discs a lot too. I think these are a really fun bead, this amber disc. It just can add like such a pretty color, like a contrast color, but it's small, easy to use, very lovely. So maybe we'll make a quick pair of earrings or a bracelet or something. I'm not quite sure. I haven't planned out my thought process here. I bet a pair of cool earrings would be kind of fun. We could even hang that from the bottom. Just trying to think of what I want to do. Okay, so I've got my beading wire. This is again our Softflex in a turquoise color. It's a 49 strand beading wire. It's the most commonly used diameter, and it's my favorite color of Softflex beading wire that we have. I'm going to use the crimping pliers from the beginner kit again because I really want this video to be geared towards our beginners who've never used our products before. I feel like we could do like a really cool fringe earring with this. I'm thinking about that. So I'm just going to cut off like a decent sized piece of wire. It's probably like 6 inches. And I'm going to grab a crimp bead first and go ahead and I'm going to slide my crimp tube up to the top here. So this is where I will attach to my ear wire, if it all goes to plan, of course, because this is just me beading. You never know what's going to work and what's not going to work. I'm going to go ahead and put my crimp tube into the crimper and compress, and then I will turn it on its side and compress a few more times. And like Rosanna said earlier, Softflex crimp tubes are double the wall thickness of most. They're very thick and strong, so you can go around them several times and really tighten them down into the nylon coating of the wire. Okay, so let's see if these discs will go through 2 strands of Softflex. Nope, they won't. So that's not going to work the way I wanted it to, of course. And this slides over the crimp. So we need something there that is going to make sense and go through 2 holes. Yeah, it doesn't look like any of these are going to want to do 2 holes. So we're going to have to just go to 1 wire for the top. So I'm just going to cut off this extra wire. So now I've just got one wire crimped at the top where it's going to attach. I'll string my amber disc, this pretty, I love these little metal beads. They're so pretty. They have such a pretty unique stamping on them. And then another, something like that. And then I was really hoping to do kind of a, let's see, let's get our crimp. String it on. I'm going to take this wire that I trimmed off and this wire here, and who knows how I'll like this when it turns out, but let's just test it out and see. I'm really into this like fringe, soft flex fringe stuff. I feel like it's so fun. And if you have other colors at home, you could add in other colors too, and you could do a bigger crimp. You could do a 3x3 crimp and you would be able to get more wire through the crimp. Only 3 strands fit through a 2x2. So it's not quite as fun. Okay, so I've got my wires up. I'm gonna get them as close to that bead as I can here at the bottom. Slide it up. Oh, and I pulled the wrong one, of course. Okay, do over. Get your crimp, your wires in first, and then we're gonna slide it up. You want to get it as close to the bead as possible, otherwise you'll have kind of a gape. It's this wire I need to pull on. Have kind of a gaping section or a gap. That's not going to be good. So just pull it as close as you can. It's harder to see which one to pull. Oh my gosh, you guys, this is ridiculous. This must be my Monday back problems, huh? Even though it's Thursday since I was on vacation. Okay, which one am I pulling? I'm going to pull these ones tinier. There we go. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and crimp that into place. And I'm just going around and around it like I did before. Silly. And then I can go ahead and cut off my extra wires. One of those days, yes, Kristen. Oh well. Okay. It's always one of those days when you're trying something new too, on live camera, of course, right? Okay, now I'll just trim this so it's more like I could do something like that where I do 3 different levels. I could do something like this where I do a little more asymmetrical. I could do them all the same length like this, but it just creates kind of a little fringe at the bottom. You could even add some beads down there too if you wanted to. And then all we have to do is attach an ear wire here at the top. Open up. I'm going to use my bent nose pliers from the Craft Wire Starter Kit. Open up your ear wire and slide your earring onto it. And there you go. You've got a simple little fun Western Winds earring that I like a lot. Rochelle says, seeing the pros struggle or have glitches reassures the rest of us. Oh, that's good. I'm so glad I can be your reassurance. Definitely, there's struggles for all of us. And, you know, beading is an ongoing education for me and for all of you. So hopefully I've been able to reach out to some of you today who've been thinking about starting beading, but just haven't quite taken the plunge. I think that you're going to really like these starter kits. And then for those of you that are more seasoned, that have been spending a lot of time with us, and you haven't gotten your TierraCast Western Winds kit, I hope you will pick up one soon and start posting some pictures in the VIB group. You have until, looks like I locked this down. Hi. You have until, looks like September 18th to post pictures of what you make with the TierraCast kit. Every single design that you show is an entry to win, and you will win. Whoever wins will get the next kit that's coming out the day after from Neelay Patel's Silver Silk collection. And I've been working on that kit today, and I think you guys are going to really love it. It's really pretty. He actually hand cut a pendant for each kit. I have extremely low supplies of that particular kit, so that will be one that you want to get on really fast. We had a pretty good supply of the TierraCast kit, so that's why it's able to stick around for a little bit longer. But I have had some email complaints in the past from people not being able to get our kits because they sell out so fast. So I'm hoping by offering a kit like TierraCast that we can buy in a big quantity, that will be able to sort of alleviate that pressure a little bit. But we'll still have some where it's very limited in quantity as we move forward. The kits will vary. Andrea's asking how much are the kits. The kits are going to vary based on your choice. So if you choose gold or silver or copper, it may change and vary. It looked like the bead stringing kits were between $30 and $35 depending on what you choose. And then the craft wire kits were a little bit more, I want to say they were like $45, but it's because these nylon jaw pliers are in there, and this is a hefty tool. This is not an inexpensive tool. All of the kits are 20% off when you buy in a kit. So if you've been waiting for a good opportunity to get sort of a little discount on everything to start too, the kits are perpetually on sale at 20% off so that we can give you that kickstart to get started. And then once you get started, we can start seeing you post pictures of your work in our VIB group like all of our other lovely artists that already use our products. So I'm looking forward to see what all of you guys make with the TierraCast kit. Start posting when you get a chance. And we still have about 50% available if you want to buy a kit and join in the fun. The date to have your designs posted is September 18th, so you have plenty of time still to participate. All right, thanks for joining me today. I'm really excited to have gotten to spend some time with you and show all of our new kits. And yes, we ship worldwide. And if you have any questions, you can always email us at info@softluxcompany.com, and you can find all of our products at www.softluxcompany.com. All right, bye guys.